So, how does a young dad break a 10-year drinking habit in one therapy session? Is that even possible? And if it is, how does that even happen? Can someone really change that quickly? Hi, I'm Julie, lover of Jesus, life coach, and rapid transformational therapy practitioner. This channel is all about equipping you with actionable tools, tips, strategies, and tactics to help you reframe your perspective about what's going on in your world right now. Why? Because when you reframe a situation that's happening to you, you see things in a different light, and that is where breakthrough can begin. So back to that question, can someone really change that quickly? And if so, how does that even happen? Well, the answer is yes. And in this video, I'm going to explain how it happened for one particular client that I worked with. So this young man had been struggling with a drinking habit for over 10 years. And he tried different things at different times, but nothing seemed to stick in the longer term. He wanted to understand why the drinking kept repeating itself, and he knew that he didn't need more willpower because that hadn't been working for him. So looking for help, he was curious about rapid transformational therapy because it was something he hadn't heard of before, and he wanted to learn more about it to see if it had potential to help him. So he booked a call with me, just an intro call with all of his questions he wanted to ask me. I explained to him that RTT is a type of therapy that helps people quickly identify and overcome the root cause of an issue in their life that they want to change, leading to positive, lasting change. Instead of just addressing symptoms, RTT helps the client to find the underlying cause behind a pattern of behavior that has originated from a past experience by combining different therapeutic approaches, such as hypnotherapy, neurolinguistic programming, and cognitive behavioral therapy in a session. He was especially interested in understanding how hypnotherapy works because for him, when he hears that word, he thinks of the scenario where people are on stage, they get called up the front, they get put under hypnotherapy and made to do silly, goofy things. So he was really surprised to learn that this particular method of hypnotherapy is not like that, number one, but it's all about helping a client deeply relax. And in fact, I explained it to him this way and asked him, have you ever driven from a location to a location? And when you arrive at your destination, you think to yourself, I have no memory of actually driving here. Or have you ever had the experience of being so engrossed in a movie, someone taps you on the shoulder and you just jump out of your skin? Those two types of fairly common life experiences are examples of going into a hypnotic state. And I added that the objective in a session of the hypnotherapy is simply to establish that deeply relaxed state. In fact, I'm remembering another client who, on his first experience with a session, said, that is the most deeply relaxed I have ever felt since I can't even remember. So after I finished talking to him and just clarifying hypnotherapy itself, I shifted gears into explaining one of the aspects of this therapy that I absolutely love witnessing. And it happens during the intake call. So after the client explains all the ways that the symptoms of their problem or issue has been showing up in their life, I ask them this question: what would your life look like without this symptom, problem, or issue? They realize with that question, they're given permission and they're giving themselves permission to dream, what would my life look like? And it doesn't take long for the responses and the answers to just flow. So we finished that initial intake call and he understood completely that this wasn't actually about receiving a bunch of positive affirmations. At the end of the session, he'd receive his own personalized transformational audio recording to listen to every day for 21 days. That was entirely based on his words about what his life would look like without the problem. So after covering all of that in the call, he scheduled a session with me. And once his subconscious mind identified the root cause behind what was driving the habit, something clicked. He saw what caused it in the very beginning. He saw the beliefs that he had shaped from that experience from his past and how they were connected. He became aware of those beliefs that had shaped him all those years ago. And the thing is this, you can't change what you aren't aware of. So with that insight, he was ready for those beliefs to be replaced, which was the purpose of his transformational and personalized recording, to reinforce the positive change. He had one session with me. I provided the post-session support over the following 21 days, and he described the treatment as being the circuit breaker I needed to stop this habit completely, to use his words. We parted ways, and then 12 months later, I got an email from him that said this. Hi, Julie. I wanted to let you know that I've just completed 1 year sober since your treatment. It's definitely been challenging, but each day seems to be easier as time goes by. This has changed my life, enabling me to focus on what matters to me the most, my children. That's the power of RTT. It doesn't just help you cope, it helps you transform. And if this story resonates with you and you know that you need a shift like this, click the link below and book an intro call with me, just like my client did. Bring your questions, just like he did, and let's start a conversation.